Mr. Keith Barry, I know we're quite close here. We're not here for a romantic meal though, we're here to talk about 8 Deadly Sins. Keith, why the title in the first place, and where did the genesis of the idea come from?
Well, I always tend to theme my shows now, so I always come up with the name first, and then that generates the material afterwards. So my previous show, The Asylum, it was based loosely around research that I did on asylums in the 1800s. And the same with the 8 Deadly Sins. I was in the car, we were on tour with The Asylum, and I said, look, we've got to come up with a name for the next show, because that drives me then to generate the material. So I was just thinking, 7 Deadly Sins, there's lots, a big umbrella of material that you can put underneath sins. And then I said, well, let's create an 8th one as well. So that's how I came up with the 8 Deadly Sins. And then I went off, researched the existing 7 Deadly Sins like crazy, and then created an 8th Deadly Sin for the purposes of the show. So I'm already thinking about what the next tour is going to be called. I've got a couple of names floating around in my mind, but I think I'll save them for now and tell you what they are later. So I'm here with the original Rudeboys, and I'm going to try and get inside their minds, hack around and influence their thoughts. But I have a couple of questions for you. You know, when you're on tour and you're together for a long length of time, it's almost like escaping from reality sometimes. Do you ever find that your systems, your autonomic nervous system, which is your breathing, your heart rate, your blood flow, taking a dump, do you ever find those sync up when you're on tour? In other words, when he needs to go to the jacks, he goes to the jacks. Does that ever happen?
Yeah, that's happened a few times. I've gone to the jacks. Yeah.
Especially before we go on stage.
Before we go on stage,
everyone has to go.
Toilet.
So you do kind of sync up in essence, because that's what this is about, this experiment. I'm going to try and sync the three of you up right now, okay? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at me, good. And just take a deep breath in, and out, good. And another deep breath in, and out, good. I want you all now to close your eyes. Close your eyes, good. And now open your eyes again. And sorry, just block out that light for a second. Look at me, take another deep breath in and out. And now close your eyes, good. And in your minds, I want you to imagine that you're at a concert. And in your mind right now, I want you to hear a song. In your mind. You've all got songs in mind, yes?
Yeah.
Good. When I count to 3, I want you all to name the song that you chose out loud. Only when I count to 3. Name the song in your mind. 1, 2, 3.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
All 3 of you. We're thinking of Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's always been unique now.
Yeah, so was I.
No, but wait. Be honest. You had a second song in mind as well.
I did.
Okay, what was that song?
Imagine by John Lennon.
Really?
Yes.
What if I told you that before this whole thing started, I actually influenced your thoughts and got inside your mind? Because remember when I said escape from reality? That's one of the opening lines of Bohemian Rhapsody. So I was attempting to influence your thoughts, your actions, inside your mind by doing that. But not only that, when I held up the newspaper and I said, I'm blocking out the light, it was nothing to do with blocking out the light. It's actually called pre-conscious processing. Pre-conscious processing is the registering of information in the subconscious mind through your peripheral vision. In other words, you can know something without actually knowing that you know it. And if you don't believe me, this is today's newspaper, and I took out an ad myself for the original Rudeboys in the paper. There's the ad there, and read out loud what it says.
Hey lads, great meeting you today. If I manage to influence you successfully, you will have just named the song Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. P.S. Neddy is also thinking of Imagine by John Lennon. All the best, Keith.
Keith, how do you rehearse for stuff like magic? It must be impossible. Do you have a magic room in your house?
I kind of do. I have an office, and really my magic office, if you like, where I get my inspiration, my material from, largely is books. But I read all kinds of books, not just magic or hypnosis books. I'll read books on cryptozoology, which is investigating animals that are supposedly extinct, or unusual animals. So I'll research, and I spend probably 18 hours a day kind of investigating stuff and then coming up with stuff. And here with the original Rudeboys, I wanted to come up with something original for them. That's why I took out the ad in the newspaper and flashed it up in front of their peripheral vision without them even noticing it. And that's when they came up with Bohemian Rhapsody, which all 3 of them were influenced to think of. That, literally, I was down to the wire not knowing whether it would work. Took out the ad late last night in the newspaper. So there is no way to rehearse this stuff except do it. And if it doesn't work, then hope that you won't show it, because I don't have control over that,
I went to see him in the Olympia the last 2 times, and I was kind of
I'm always sceptical about these kind of things, like, but to have it done on you and see it firsthand is like, it's a total messes with your mind, like, you know.
How do you do that though when you're trying to mess with his head and get him wrong, but he still gets it right? That's a head wrecker.
No idea. People think that there's people behind waving flags or whatever. It doesn't happen when we're here. We have no idea how he does it, honest to God.
And Keith, finally, how do you make your heart stop?
Well, literally, I just go internal, shut down my autonomic nervous system, slow my heart rate down, and I stop it. Like, I've learned to do it. I can do it for you now if you want.
Can you? Let's do it. Okay, here we go.
I want you to take my pulse. You know how to take a pulse? 2 fingers there. There. And you should feel my pulse in just a second. It is there.
Yeah.
Okay, so tap that out. Good. Okay, now look at me. In a moment, you'll feel my pulse rate slowing down and eventually stopping. And when that happens, I want you to stop tapping, but only when it happens. And it's going to happen. And don't allow me to go for longer than like 6 seconds. Okay, 5 or 6 seconds when I go. Here we go.
That's about 5 seconds. Back. Keith Barry, you're a scary man. Don't look into my eyes. Thanks for talking to us.
I won't tell everybody exactly what he was doing last Tuesday night at 11:30 p.m.
Not 11, shh.